Hello everyone and welcome back to Hytale Guides. In this video I'll be showing you how to make your very own custom NPC. Damn, these guys are really loud. And they're actually very dangerous as well. If you want to see how to add your very own custom NPC just like this annoying skeleton that you can see right over here, keep watching this video. Before continuing with the video, I want to tell you guys that I'm now an official Hytale creator. I couldn't have done this without all of you, so I want to thank all of you for achieving this. You can now support the channel by using the creator code Hytale Guides at checkout when you buy something in the store. It doesn't save you any money, but it supports the channel. Now let's get back to the video. As you guys might already be used to, the first step would be going over to your worlds and creating a brand new creative world, and make sure that right here you change it from creative mode creative hub to generated world, apply the settings, then create your brand new world. Once you're loaded inside of your beautiful creative world, you'll want to open the chat, then type in /op self in order to become a server operator, and then hit the tab button, go over to creative tools, and then open the asset editor. Now inside of our asset editor, we're gonna have to create a new pack. For that, we'll just click this button right over here as usual, click on add pack, give it a name. I will name my pack Screaming Skeleton NPC. For the group, I will say Hytale Guides, and the other fields are optional, so let's just leave them empty and then hit save. Now you've got two choices. You can either use a custom character model that you've made in Blockbench and that you gave a texture to, or you can navigate over to the original Hytale folder and then copy an already existing NPC from there and then make changes to that NPC in order to make it yours. The choice is literally up to you guys. For this video I want to make a custom skeleton NPC, so I'll just use the skeleton that's already provided by Hytale. For that I will change the pack to the Hytale pack, then go into common, expand NPC, scroll down and expand undead. And right here scroll down once again until we find skeleton, and right here we can expand models, and under here we can have the textures, the attachments, and this is the model for a regular skeleton. So right now if you want to access the original asset from Hytale, in our case the skeleton, make changes to it, I've made a video on my channel where I showcase how to extract each original asset from Hytale. If you didn't watch that video, I'll show you an easy method to get only the blocky model for the skeleton, so pay close attention. So in order to access the skeleton model, I will hold the Windows key, press the R button, type in %appdata %, hit enter, and right here in our file explorer, we're going to scroll down until we find Hytale. Then go inside of install, release, package, game, latest, and right here you can see we have the assets.zip file. This zip file contains every single asset inside of Hytale. If you want, you can extract this archive and literally mess with any asset inside of Hytale, but for this video we only want the 3D model for the skeleton. So I will just double click on it in order to go inside of it, and inside of here you just have to follow the same path that we had in the asset editor. So that would be common, then NPC, then we are gonna go to undead, and inside of undead we find the skeleton. We are gonna go to the models section, and right here model.blocky model, this is the model for our skeleton. Now guys, this is very important. Don't mess with any of the files inside of the assets.zip archive, because that will mess up the save for your game and you might have to reinstall Hytale. So we don't want to make changes here. We're gonna want to right click on this one and then hit copy and then paste it on a location on our device so that we don't mess with the original files of the game. I just created a brand new file somewhere on my device. I called it Screaming Skeleton, you can call it however you want. Now I'm going to right click and paste the model for our skeleton inside of here. Now the next step would be opening Blockbench, then dragging this and just drop it right over here, and you can see our model has imported successfully, but it doesn't have a texture currently. So we need to also get our texture from the assets.zip. So back inside of assets.zip, where we had the model, we can go inside of the folder called model textures, and inside of here there are a few textures for skeletons. We are going to take the white one, right click on it, copy, and then paste it in the folder for our screaming skeleton. So after pasting our texture inside of our folder, I'll just click on select folder, and we can see the screaming skeleton folder is selected. I'll just hit on select folder and our texture just loaded successfully. So as I've said previously, right now we are just going to edit an already existing model of a character for Hytale, but you can create your very own. Just make sure that when you create a Hytale character, you follow the file structure, or the group structure actually, that's how it's called, of the original Hytale models. That's how Hytale will know that this is actually a model for an NPC, and it will know how to handle it. Now we want to add more detail to our character without messing up the UV, so I'm going to right click on the texture, go over to resize texture, and make sure that right here you only use numbers that are multiples of 8, so that would be 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, and so on. I will go for 256 by 256, hit confirm. As you can see, nothing messed up, our UV space is just bigger now, and we can add our custom textures and everything we want right over here. So if I go over to paint mode, I can literally now just take my paint bucket and paint over this model and change it however I want to. It's literally up to you what you want to do with your model. You can add new parts to it, just go crazy with it. It's literally completely up to you. One more important thing that we're gonna need for our skeleton body right over here is gonna be a proper animation. For that you can go to the Animate tab and make your very own custom animation, or if you don't want to make a custom one, you can just use the animations that it already has. You can find those as well inside of the assets.zip file. And this is where the group structure comes in very handy. Let's say if I go right here to animations, add a new animation, let's call it Scream Animation. Okay, play it once, just leave everything as it is, hit confirm. And now if I select the head of our skeleton, then move it left, I'll just rotate it, then move this right over here, and then rotate our head this way, and now I can play the animation. You can see that its head rotates, but I need to also copy this one, then place it right about here, and now our skeleton should have a head animation. Right here you just have to play with all of these features and make your own custom animation if you don't want to use one that already exists. Now I'm just going to make a custom one for the skeleton that has a sword in his hand, has a shield, in order to recreate that very popular meme. As you can see, this is my result. I just added a shield in the left hand of my skeleton and a sword inside of the right hand, and right here inside of the Animate tab I just took the swing left animation that was already in the assets.zip file and made a few changes to it, so that way it looks like the skeleton is hitting the shield. So now that we have our animation, make sure that over inside of the Animate tab you right click on the animation, hit save in order to save it to a location on your device. Do the same right over here with your texture, just right click on it, hit save as. After saving the texture, make sure to hit Ctrl S, and then your .blocky model file will be saved. That would be the model for our skeleton. So after saving everything, you should have your texture, your animation, and your blocky model. Make sure that you have the .blocky model file and not the .bb model. Hytale only supports .blocky model, not bb model. Now we're gonna have to access the file for our world. So for that we're gonna go over to worlds, right click on the world that you've just created and click the open folder button. That will open the folder for your save file of this world. Inside of here you will have to go over to the mods folder, then to the mod that you've just created, and right here you will have to right click, go to new folder, create a folder called common. Inside of common, right click, go to new folder, call this one NPC. Inside of here, we're gonna right click again, go to new folder, make one called undead, and inside of undead, we're once again going to right click, new folder, and I'll call this one screaming underscore skeleton, hit enter, and inside of here, we want to create another folder. We're gonna call this one animations. This is where we're gonna place our animation, and we're gonna make another one called models, and inside of models we're gonna right click, new folder, and call this one model underscore textures. Inside of models we're going to paste the .blocky model file. Then inside of model textures we're going to paste our texture, then press this button to go up by one, once again go up by one, and inside of the animations folder we're going to place our animation. After doing all of that, you're now ready to go back inside of your world and then inside of the asset editor. Inside of the asset editor, I'll go up over here to change to our custom pack, then click the plus button, and right here at asset type I'm going to type in model. So we have to select model asset, give it a unique asset ID. This is going to be our model, so I'll call it screaming underscore skeleton underscore model. And now we want to copy an already existing asset, and then we're going to replace everything. I'll just copy the skeleton from Hytale because it's very similar in behavior and everything with what we want to achieve. So I'll just scroll down over here until I find the regular skeleton, and it should be right over here, the last one, the skeleton. Then hit create, and now we're gonna have to replace the model and the texture. For that, right here on this arrow, we're gonna click on it and change it from the Hytale pack to our custom pack. And right here you can see the folders that we've previously created. So if we go inside of NPC, then undead, screaming skeleton, then models, we can find the model that we've placed right over here. I'm going to hit select, and now we also need to give it the texture. So I'll once again click the arrow, change it to our custom pack, go over to NPC, undead, screaming skeleton, models, model textures, and this is our custom textures. I'll hit select, and now you don't see everything here because it doesn't have an icon. So I'll just click on this button right over here, move our skeleton a little bit, hit save icon, and now you can see our custom skeleton model. Now if you didn't choose the skeleton model, your character might have something called an attachment. Our skeleton has the eyes as an attachment. If you remember, inside of Blockbench the eyes were not there. This is found right over here. You can see the eyes blocky model. So if I remove it, the icon might be gone, but if I hit the plus button once again, you can see now the eyes are gone because that was an attachment. You can create and play with your very own attachments. It's literally up to you. There's a lot of customization, but for this tutorial I'll keep my skeleton like it is right now. Now if we go to the animations tab right over here, you can see that we have a lot of fields. We can add an animation for each different action that our NPC can do. Let's change the spawn animation. I want to go right over here to animations. We can see that it currently has two of them. I'm going to remove one, and this animation right over here, I'll click here and replace it with our custom animation that should be over here inside of NPC, undead, screaming skeleton, animations, and this is the animation that we've made inside of Blockbench. I'm going to select that one, and let's also add that animation when our NPC is in the idle state. That way it will play many times and we can see how it works. So I'm once again going to replace the currently existing animation with our custom one, NPC, undead, screaming skeleton, animations, select the one that we've made, hit select, and now our animations are done. Right here you can play with all of them. You can add a custom animation for each action. If you have enough time to make all of them, it's literally up to you. Just customize it however you want. One more interesting feature for your NPC is this trails tab. Right here you can also add a thing called a phobia. For example, there's already arachnophobia made inside of the game. That means your skeleton will be scared of spiders and it will run away when it sees a spider. If you go over to the physics tab, you can also add custom particles to your NPC if you click the plus button right over here, and inside of system ID you might have your very own particle, but you can also use one that's already inside of Hytale. Just choose any of them. I don't know, maybe the explosion medium, and now you have an explosion medium particle effect. I'll remove it because I don't want particle effects for our skeleton NPC. There are lots more things that you can customize for your model, but that's literally up to you. That's depending on what you want to achieve. Maybe you want to go right here over to hitbox and change the hitbox of your character. The decision is yours, guys. Now inside of Hytale, if you want to see how your skeleton looks in the game or your custom NPC, you'll have to press tab, go up over here to creative tools, then go to the world tab and click on spawn entity. Now make sure that you click on models, because right now only our model is done. We didn't turn it into a NPC. We'll have to click the search and search for screaming, yeah, and you can see right here screaming skeleton model asset, and we can spawn in this guy, and now he should be in the idle state. Or no, I think he's actually frozen. I don't think this guy can play any animations yet. He's just frozen. Now, one last thing that we forgot to add to our iconic screaming skeleton is the iconic scream. For that, I'll go over to animations, and where we set the idle animation, we can see that we also have a place for a sound event ID, but we didn't add a sound inside of our files. So let's see how we can do that. If you want a cool place to find custom sounds, I recommend using this site called My Instance, and I'll just search for screaming skeleton, hit enter, and as you can see I found the screaming skeleton sound. I can just click on it and download the MP3 file. One more thing that you should consider is that Hytale doesn't accept the MP3 format, it accepts the .ogg format. So for that I will link this website in the description of the video. You just have to drop your MP3 inside of here and it will turn into a .ogg file, but make sure that you go to the settings and change the audio channel to mono 1.0. That's the way Hytale prefers it. Hit OK and then hit convert, and then you can download your custom sound. After you get your custom OGG sound file, you'll once again have to open the file location of your world, go over to mods, go to our mod, go inside of common, and inside of here right click, new folder, make one called sounds, and inside of here you should paste your .ogg sound. Now we need to go over to the plus button, create a new asset with the type sound event, because we need a sound event. Give it a unique asset ID. I'll call it screaming underscore skeleton underscore sound underscore event, and just copy an asset as usual. I'll just go and copy any of them. Let's choose this one, click create, and now we need to change some things over here. I'm going to expand the layers, expand this one, and expand the files. And right here we can replace this file with our custom skeleton scream. So I'll just go here, go to sound, and we can see this scream right over here. I'll hit select, and here you can play with the values, with the volume, the pitch, and many more things. Now if we go back to our model asset, go back to the animations, we find the idle animation, we expand it, expand this one as well, and we have the sound event ID. We should be able to find the sound event that we've just made. And as you might be hearing it, the skeleton's already screaming inside of the game. Dude, just stop screaming, you're not even an NPC yet. Stop screaming. Damn, this guy is so annoying. Let's try to turn him into a real NPC, that way we can actually kill him. Let's go over to the plus button. For the asset type, search for NPC, select NPC role, give it a unique ID, let's say screaming underscore skeleton underscore NPC underscore role, and we're gonna copy an already existing asset. This part is very important. When you copy the NPC role asset, make sure that you copy the NPC role of an NPC that's very similar to what you want to achieve. If you want to achieve, let's say, a monster, a enemy, make sure that you choose one that has very similar properties to what you want to achieve. If you want to have a friendly creature, make sure that you choose the NPC role from a friendly creature. I will go to Undead, expand the Skeleton tab, or actually, let's select Ghoul. Ghoul I think has better stats and I don't want to change them, so I'll just hit create. And right here you can see you don't have the editor. The asset editor doesn't support editing NPC roles, so we're just gonna have to play with the source code for this one. The source code is very important. Inside of here you can see that you can modify the drop list, the max speed, the view range, the wander radius, the damage. You can literally change each value for your NPC inside of here. Unfortunately, you can't change it from the visual editor. You'll just have to play with the source code. One really important part right over here, guys, is the appearance. You need to change the appearance with the ID of our screaming skeleton. His ID is right over here, so we need to change it from ghoul to the screaming underscore skeleton underscore model underscore asset, and then hit apply changes. Now inside of Hytale, if I press tab, go over to creative tools, go to world and the spawn entity menu, make sure that you're on the NPCs category. I will search for scream and we can find the screaming skeleton right over here. I can select it. Yeah, he already starts screaming. Let's summon in 5 of these guys. They're pretty crazy. Come on. As you can see, they're all screaming. If I go into survival mode, they will just come and kill me. Yep, you don't want to come near these guys. They are pretty strong. Yeah, they can kill you very easily. Now let's make these bad boys spawn inside of Hytale. For that, I'll go to the plus button, and for the asset type I will search for spawn, and we are going to choose world NPC spawn. Give it a unique asset ID, let's say screaming underscore skeleton underscore world NPC spawn, and we're gonna copy an already existing asset once again from Hytale. Let's just choose one from zone 1, let's say forests predator, hit create, and right over here we can see that we have a list with 2 entries. We're going to remove all of them and add our custom entry, which is going to be the skeleton NPC. Now the weight is very interesting. Basically, the bigger the weight, the higher the odds for your skeleton to spawn. So I'll get it very high. I know maybe 50 should be high enough. Now we need to select a spawn block set. What kind of blocks will this NPC spawn onto? So for this I will change to Hytale and search for let's see, I want it to spawn on soils, if that's correct, the category of soil, like soil lands. No, so I will just select soil, and now at the flock parameter we can reference an existing one. Basically this means how many of them are going to spawn at once. You can see we have group small, group medium. Let's choose group large. Now we can also change the daytime range. So basically that's the range when it spawns, like at what time. And you can also change the environment where it spawns. So you can see it's set to environment zone 1, forest, autumn and azure. Let's also add the plains environment right inside of here. Let's see, zone 1, and there should be the plains environment somewhere around here. Yep, it is here. And now I will just rejoin my world and check if these guys are indeed spawning. One small detail here, guys, your NPCs will not spawn if you don't do the next thing. So here in your world, right click on your world and make sure that you have NPCs enabled. Otherwise, no NPCs are going to spawn. And would you look at that, guys, it's a gang of screaming skeletons. If you guys enjoyed this tutorial and would like to see more like this one in the future, please make sure to subscribe and hit the like button. I'll see you in the next video.